At my father's retirement party, his best friend got drunk and said, "I can't believe you're still pretending he's your real son." My dad has been in construction for 31 years, worked his way up from laborer to site foreman to project manager, all without a college degree, all with his hands. So when the company threw him a retirement party, open bar, 60 people, a slideshow with embarrassing photos of him in a hard hat, I was there, standing next to him, prouder than I have ever been. His best friend, Walt, had been drinking since 5 o'clock. By 7:30, he was doing that thing drunk people do where they think they're whispering, but they're absolutely not. He was standing maybe 6 feet from me when he said it to one of the other guys from the crew. "I can't believe he's still pretending that's his real son." The words landed like something dropped from a roof. I didn't move. I wasn't sure I was breathing. Dad was across the room taking a photo with someone. He didn't hear it. I set my drink down and walked over. "What did you just say?" Walt turned. He blinked at me a couple times. His face didn't do what a guilty face does. He just looked confused. "Oh, hey kid, what did you mean by that?" He waved his hand. "Don't worry about it. I need you to explain it to me." He let out a long breath and looked down at his drink. 30 years of keeping someone else's secret, and now he was standing in a steakhouse under pendant lights with an open bar tab, and it was all trying to come out. "When your mom was pregnant," he said, "there was a question about whether he was the one." I went completely still. "She'd been seeing someone else before she came back to your dad. He found out right after she told him she was pregnant." Walt finally looked at me. His eyes were red, and I couldn't tell if it was the alcohol or something else. He never had a test done, said it didn't matter, said you were his son, and that was the end of it. Never looked back. He shook his head slowly. I told him he was insane. 30 years I've thought he was insane. I didn't say anything. But then, you grew up and became you, and he turned into the man he is. Walt laughed quietly, and I started thinking maybe he just knew something I didn't. I heard the slideshow music stop across the room. I heard my dad's voice saying something, people laughing. My mom died when I was 9. She never said a word. I stood there and tried to figure out what I was feeling, and the honest answer is that I couldn't locate it. It was too many things at once, and none of them had a name yet. My dad found me about 10 minutes later. He must have read it on my face because he didn't say hello, didn't make a joke. He just looked at me for a second and said, "Walt, it wasn't a question." I nodded. He pulled me toward the back hallway, near the restrooms, away from the party noise. "I was going to tell you," he said. I couldn't find the right time, and then enough time passed that it felt cruel to bring it up when nothing had changed for me. Did you ever get a test?" He shook his head. "No." "Why not?" He looked at me the way he always looked at me. The same way he looked at me when I was 7 and when I was 17 and when I was standing across from him at my college graduation. Like the question confused him a little. "Because you're my son," he said. "That's not something I needed a lab to confirm." I looked at the floor. I didn't trust my voice quite yet. "The other guy?" I said. "Do you know who he was?" "I did. He moved away a long time ago." "It doesn't matter." "It might matter to me." He nodded slowly. "I know. And if you want to know, I'll tell you everything I know. That's your call to make, not mine." He put his hand on my shoulder. "But I want you to hear me when I say this. I chose you every single day. Not because I had to. Because you're my kid and I wanted to." Across the restaurant, someone clinked a glass. People cheered. We stood there in that hallway for another minute without saying anything. Then I said, "You should get back in there. It's your party." He straightened his collar. "You coming?" "Yeah," I said. "Give me a second." I watched him walk back into the noise, back into the slideshow and the open bar and the 31 years of people who respected him. I stood there and I thought about every single thing he'd ever done for me. Every little league game. Every late night helping with homework he didn't understand. Every time he showed up. I thought about what it means to choose someone. To keep choosing them. For 3 decades, without ever once asking to be thanked for it. Then I went back to the party and stood next to my dad for the rest of the night. He is my real father. That was never the question.